Good evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Tamir Nimsa and we at our television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. Once halted light rail transit project seems getting green light. Officials say. Cabinet advises to take a U-turn and charge only $50 for a 30-day visit visa. Sri Lanka plays a significant role at the ASEAN Regional Forum. News in detail. Japan's Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe where they discussed various bilateral issues and cooperation initiatives at the Presidential Secretariat recently. During the discussion, Foreign Minister Kamikawa commended President Wickremesinghe's efforts to overcome the economic crisis and pursue ambitious economic reforms. Minister Kamikawa expressed Japan's intention to resume yen-dominated loans and restart the Bandaranaike International Airport expansion project and the light rail transit project. The deliberations also covered the signing of a memorandum of understanding related to debt restructuring in Sri Lanka. Minister Kamikawa, known for her advocacy for women's rights and gender equality, appreciated President Wickremesinghe's efforts in advancing legislation on this crucial matter. President Wickremesinghe expressed gratitude to Japan for their support during Sri Lanka's challenging times and emphasized the need to strengthen cooperation between the two countries for mutual benefit. Minister of Industries and Health Dr. Ramesh Pathirana unveiled plans for the Industry Expo 2024 set to be held at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall from the 19th to 23rd June. The minister highlighted the significance of this event, which will feature the debut of an inaugural international conference alongside the Industry Green Awards ceremony. Minister Pathirana revealed that the Industry Expo 2024 will showcase over 1,300 booths representing 25 industries in Sri Lanka. Additionally, a national vehicle parade involving over 25 vehicle assembly companies will commence from Goldface around on June 18th, culminating at the BMICH premises. Throughout the 5-day duration of the exhibition, various programs facilitated by the Industrial Development Board will be actively implemented. The President's Media Division announced that the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to issue a single-entry visa to tourists for $50. The announcement came recently after the country began talk over the increasing of visa fees to $100 with a shift to a private contractor. Sri Lanka was previously issuing a double-entry visa for $50, allowing tourists to visit neighbouring countries and return in line with the island's logistic hub status and also to come back for more. The statement said, amidst the notable progress in the country's tourism sector, numerous stakeholders within the industry have recently urged the President to maintain the maximum visa fee for foreigners at $50. Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Harin Fernando has told to a foreign website that he had opposed the fees charged by VFS Global and the fees were not previously disclosed to Cabinet. It is not clear whether tourists will still have to use the IVS, GBS, VFS Global website to get visas or whether the user-friendly government website will be available again. The travel industry as well as tourists have said it is complex and cannot be used easily, unlike the earlier ETV website of the Department of Immigration. Travel forum discussions showed that some tourists were opting to get a visa on arrival physically at the airport after being frustrated by the strict data and other requirements of the VFS Global website. They were also being given confusing messages by the new portal's chat facility about the availability of on-arrival visas, members of TripAdvisor.com claimed. A free visa for India, China, Russia, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand and Indonesia will be made available, the government statement said. A special workshop for youth representatives selected to represent the sectoral oversight committees of the Parliament organized by the United Nations Development Programme was convened at a hotel in Battaramulla recently. The workshop aimed to provide youth representatives with a comprehensive understanding of the sectoral oversight committees and to gather their insights on the impact of their representation. The workshop saw the participation of chairpersons of various sectoral oversight committees including Dr. Harini Amarasuriya representing the Committee of Children, Women and Gender. The event also featured a special lecture delivered by Senior Advisor to the President on Economic Affairs, Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga. The lecture focused on the role of youth in strengthening the country's economy through their contribution to the sectoral oversight committees amidst the ongoing economic crisis. Youth representatives had the opportunity to engage in discussions and share their experiences on participating in the SOC meetings, exploring ways to effectively contribute to the committee's activities. The workshop also included a special session where youth representatives interacted with the chairpersons of the sectoral oversight committees representing them. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Secretary to the Minister of Education and the former Secretary to the Minister of Industries, Tilaka Jayasundara, said that Sri Lanka is lagging behind in the ease of doing business index because of the bureaucracy and poor work ethic and the unskilled labour force in the country. The Secretary to the Minister of Education said this speaking at a panel discussion held in Colombo last week.
President is always talking about the future-ready manpower. So to address that issue, Ministry of Education has so many programs to develop the future-ready manpower, and we are in the process of developing the AI clubs with the school, smart classrooms, smart education, STEM education, STEAM education, and the technology development for the skills development, and likewise that there are so many programs. Actually, as you mentioned that government, we are not given the publicity for those things. Without having silent, there are so many programs around. I really want to appreciate the CMITA initiatives organized in panel. Thank you very much. This is the good opportunity for us to share the views and ideas and get the ideas from the audience, because the public-private partnership is very important. That's why that the without, he mentioned that actually that there are so many barriers in the public sector. Yes, there are so many barriers. That's why that when we consider the ease of doing business index, the Sri Lanka is in 99th position. So if you analyze the problematic factors, the inefficient government bureaucracy is the number one reason. The number two reason is the poor work ethic culture of the nation. And also the unskilled manpower is another reason. Likewise, if you analyze the reasons, that we want to address those reasons. Problematic areas. Now the Ministry of Education as well as the Ministry of Industries, we have identified the problematic areas and addressed those areas to overcome the challenges.
Speaking at the event, Tilaka Jayasundara further stated that Sri Lanka has only allocated 0.04% of the country's land to industries, stressing the need to allocate at least 1% of the country's land dedicated to industrial activities. She also highlighted the challenges faced by small and medium-sized enterprises when getting approval for industrial projects.
In Sri Lanka, we allocate out of our total land that we allocate only 0.04% for the industries. Definitely, if we want to develop the industrial side, at least we allocate 1% land for the industries. SMEs are really facing difficulties in getting the lands. To get the lands, that we have to follow the lengthy procedures. Now the President has appointed the IFCC Investor Facilitation Committee. I'm also a member of that committee. So we work for enhancing those areas to support the SME sector and the business startup. Actually, the main issue to get the licensing, they have to go to the nearly around, they want to follow the 84 organizations to get the license for the industries. And also to get the land to the industries, they have to follow 208 weeks for getting the approval for the land in Sri Lanka. And also to get the financial facilities from the financing agencies. I don't want to mention that how much document you have to submit the financial institutions from to get the loan facilities. Those kind of barriers are there to start the business and the SME sector.
Sri Lanka, Thailand and the USA have jointly chaired the 15th intersessional meeting of the ASEAN Regional Forum on Non-Proliferation and Disarmament held in Hawaii from April 29th to May 1st. The Minister of Foreign Affairs made this announcement releasing a press statement recently. Following Sri Lanka's hosting of the 14th ARF intersessional meeting on non-proliferation and disarmament last year in Colombo, this recent meeting continued discussions on key issues in the realm of non-proliferation. Delegates from various countries, including Australia, Bangladesh, Brunei, Cambodia, Canada, China and others, participated in the forum, engaging in robust discussions over 2 days. Additional Secretary of Multilateral Affairs Mohammad Jawhar emphasized Sri Lanka's commitment to global disarmament efforts and highlighted the significance of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Director General of the United Nations Division of the Sri Lankan Foreign Ministry, Daini Mendis, co-chaired the meeting. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The Sri Lanka Export Development Board and the Sri Lankan High Commission in the Maldives and the Sri Lanka Maldives Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce will participate in the Hotel Asia exhibition in the Maldives from May 13 to 15, 2024. The Maldives Premier Food and Hospitality event is set to attract a wide array of stakeholders from various sectors, including resorts, hotels, restaurants and more. With over 3,000 visitors and 250 companies expected to attend, the exhibition provides an ideal platform for Sri Lankan SMEs and large-scale export companies to explore opportunities in the Maldivian market. To support the participation of Sri Lankan businesses, the Sri Lankan government, through the EDB, has pledged to cover 50% of the stall costs for each participating company. Additionally, industry partnerships with Ocean Trade and Logistics, the Bank of Ceylon, and Aitken Spence will facilitate logistics, banking, and travel services for the delegation. The delegation will also engage in meetings with senior government officials and business chamber representatives, offering invaluable networking and business development opportunities. Sri Lanka's gross official reserves rose by $478 million in April 2024 to $5,438 million, Central Bank announced at a media briefing held on this Tuesday. CBSL data also showed that the rupee sharply appreciated in March and early April, leading to importable delays and heavy reserve collections. Sri Lanka's net international reserves improved radically to only a negative $404 million by end December 2023 from minus $3,229 million in 2022, sharply overperforming the IMF target of a negative $1,592 million by not cutting rates hastily and boosting confidence. Despite reserves collection, despite high real rates, the economy has started to recover strongly amid currency and monetary stability. However, the central bank is steadily settling other loans, including to the IMF and India, which is improving the net foreign assets position of the monetary authority and net international reserve position overall. Though China has given a swap, the People's Bank of China put a rule saying it cannot be used if reserves fell below 3 months of imports, protecting Sri Lanka from further losses and effective refinancing of private sector imports at the expense of negative reserves of the monetary authority and exposing the agency to forex losses.
අපේ දල සංචිත ප්‍රමාණය අප්‍රේල් මාස අන්තිම වෙනකොට බිලියන 5438 දක්වා වැඩිලා තිනවා බිල් 5.4 බිලියන්. ගිය මාසේ අන්තිමට අපි වාර්තා කර විදියට 4960යි තිබුණේ 4.96 බිලියන් කියන එක 5.438 බිලියන් කියන දක්වා මිලියන 400කට වඩා වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයකින් අප්‍රේල් මාස අන්තිම වෙනකොට වැඩිලා තිනවා. ඒ සංඛ්‍යා බැලුවොත් අවසානයේ බිලියන 5.4ක් තිබිලා තියෙන ජනවාරි 2021 වර්ෂයේ තමයි ඒ ප්‍රමාණය තිබිලා. ඒත් වශයෙන් මෙතෙන්දී අපි කියන්න ඕන අර මිලියන 1400ක් චීන සොප් එක ඇතුළු තමයි මේ අංකය තියෙන්නේ.
Central Bank Governor Nandalal Veerasinghe also adds that Sri Lanka's rupee is not seen to be volatile in the future based on data available at the moment. The central bank has also allowed the rupee to appreciate to around 300 to the US dollar, so far from 370 in March 2022 after ending a surrender rule where banks were compelled to sell dollars to it for new money. Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said that he does not foresee the exchange rate will move up and down a lot, considering the foreign incomes and payments due in the future. He asserts that even if there is volatility, central bank's policy is to allow the market to work, and if the CBSL notices any too much volatility, a kind of intervention would be done. He also added that the central bank now had $5.4 billion to intervene, but the central bank allows the market to determine the rates based on requirements. Governor Veerasinghe assured that he does not think there will be huge volatility based on the data that is available at the moment. Sri Lanka is expecting to conclude debt restructuring, which will also lead to resumption of new aid. He said the restructuring procedure leads to grace periods and lower coupons, and which will have to be serviced. Last year, Sri Lanka had repaid $2.5 billion of debt to parties, including multilateral lenders, he said. The central bank has also sold down its treasury bills against the rupee injected by dollar purchases, triggering balance of payments surplus amid muted private credit, profits in state enterprise and bitter budget deficits. With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.